This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Haley is off tonight. Our top story, the issue of medical marijuana taking center stage at this evening's City Commission meeting in Sarasota. Commissioners trying to come up with a plan for marijuana dispensaries. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from City Hall in Sarasota with more on the story. Rick?
Yes, Scott, medical marijuana continues to be a big issue here. A lot of work still needs to be done. Although the state of Florida still has to figure out the rules and regulations regarding medical marijuana, the city of Sarasota says they are working on being ahead of the game on this issue.
We're trying to put together an ordinance so that when they come down that we have a working rough draft.
A group led by Captain Corinne Stanish of the Sarasota Police Department sat in front of commissioners discussing the many options when it comes to medical marijuana, which includes the location of offices and dispensaries and who should be allowed to provide medical marijuana. One possibility is to have it in a zone near a medical facility such as Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
We just want to make sure that we're taking a proactive approach and to put ourselves in a position best able to allow a business that the voters voted in and then make sure it doesn't affect public safety.
Patricia Bird is someone who's all for medical marijuana, but she would not want to see a dispensary near a location such as a school. The part-time Suncoast resident from Kentucky is happy to see that medical marijuana got the green light in Florida.
I think it's a great thing for people that need it. I have a good friend whose daughter has seizures, and it does help her. Dr.
Jenny Wilkins, CEO of Age Vital in Sarasota, is leading the medical marijuana crusade. She says medical marijuana and other things like chocolate have CBD in it, which the body needs and makes you feel good.
I'm a functional medicine provider, so meaning I like to put in the body what naturally belongs in the body. I'm a big believer in biology before pharmacology. Let your food be thy medicine and your medicine be thy food.
Wilkins tells us she plans on opening dispensaries all over Florida and throughout the country. She says she has witnessed enormous amounts of success when it comes to this type of approach.
I have over 300 patients just here on the West Coast, pediatrics, OBGYNs, pain management, neurologists, psychiatrists, doctors that send their referrals over to my pharmacy.
City commissioners are hopeful the state comes up with their rules and regulations before the last day of Sarasota's moratorium on medical marijuana, which is July 17th.
We just want to make sure that we are in a best position to make sure that nothing is exploited or there's no abuses to this business.
And we're being told the rules and regulations could be in place as early as May. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Scott, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Sarasota County officials are on the scene of a growing wildfire in Collier County. This wildfire has grown now to 3,500 acres. Sarasota County Fire and Rescue crews are responding to a call for mutual aid for that fire. Lee County emergency personnel have also joined the fight against the blaze, along with 11 bulldozers, 2 helicopters, and 2 air tankers. The fire has forced the evacuation of about 100 horses, but no mandatory home evacuations are in place right now. At least at last check, the fire was only about 10% contained. Florida officials are warning the public to be careful with all the potential heat sources around now. The Office of Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam reports the dry conditions are leading to dangerous wildfire activity. On Sunday alone, the Florida Forestry Fire Service responded to 26 new wildfires across the state in several Florida communities. It's affecting homes and expected to continue to increase over the next few months. Some tips include obey Florida's outdoor burning laws and clear vegetation away from your home if you live near a wooded area. Let's get a check on our weather now and how dry it's been here on the Suncoast. Here's Bob Harrigan with more. Bob?
Several factors coming into play when it comes to this fire down in Collier County, which is south of Lee County and Fort Myers. It's Naples right there. You can see the numbers. The Panhandle doing okay on the scale as far as the drought conditions are concerned and the high fire danger. We're up fairly high in the 500 category and even higher in some cases across parts of the state. You can see some of those numbers right now. Charlotte County being the highest at 599, but all of our areas still in danger as far as that goes, and the right combinations occurred. We had strong winds, low humidity, and drought conditions with rainfall amounts less than, actually below average by some 3 to 5 inches this winter. The Panhandle not doing too badly, as you saw on that graphic right there, because they had all the rainfall. The fronts kind of wash out when they come our way. The winds are lessening out of the east right now. That's a good sign. Anywhere from 5 to 15 miles an hour up and down the coast right now. As far as our current conditions go, the humidities have been very low, and that also aids in the spread of those wildfires that we're seeing, that brush fire down south. Winds are out of the east at 10 right now. The pressure way up there, 30, 32. No indications of any rainfall, significant rainfall headed our way anytime soon. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is looking for more victims after a man was arrested for exposing himself in public. 20-year-old Jacob Martinez arrested over the weekend and charged with 3 counts of exposure. The arrest was in connection with 3 incidents that took place since January in Bradenton and Lakewood Ranch. Martinez turned himself in on Saturday and bonded out of jail the same day. Detectives believe there may be other incidents, and anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. A car crash causing some backup in Manatee County this evening. It happened around 6 o'clock tonight at the intersection of Pearl Avenue and US 41 in Bradenton. Caused some traffic delays north of the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. No injuries have been reported, but we will bring you new information as it becomes available. Some new details on a deadly plane crash over the weekend in East Manatee County. Sheriff's detectives have identified the 2 victims of that duet crash. David Muckler and Bob Redfern died in Saturday's crash. Redfern recently moved to Manatee County, and Muckler was visiting from North Carolina. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating what may have caused that twin-engine plane to crash. National park officials in Utah have identified a man who fell to his death as a Suncoast resident. A spokesman with the Zion National Park says Tate Volnino fell to his death last week while hiking in the southern Utah park. The Osprey man was 45 years old. He's survived by his wife and 2 sons. He was an active author focused on golf-themed novels. Park officials say hikers found Volnino's body Friday morning. A preliminary investigation found his injuries were consistent with a fall from a high elevation. An independent Christian school in Manatee County suspending more than a dozen baseball players after a hazing incident. Coaches and staff at Inspiration Academy in Bradenton say this is the first time any type of hazing activity has happened since the school opened about 4 years ago. About 20 players are now facing a 1 to 3 game suspension. School officials say several players were forced to participate in impossible sit-ups where players are pinned down, blindfolded, and then forced to sit up face first into another player's backside. The Academy's baseball director hopes the players will learn from this experience.
And so we wanted to mentor each of these students and coach them through what the right response is and to correct the behavior and to deal with the consequences that happen with bad behavior.
The first game suspension was last Friday. The last will happen on Wednesday. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back. He'll have the official Suncoast forecast for the upcoming week. Plus, Republicans taking the next steps to replace Obamacare, but even some GOP members have issues with the new plan. And the White House is giving fair warning before it enforces its next travel ban.
Now's a perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried, Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Well, Bob, you were talking earlier, all the right ingredients, unfortunately, for wildfires. You had high winds today, and then it's been dry.
Low humidity, too,
and
below average rainfall. The Panhandle hasn't. The fronts have been coming down, producing rain there. By the time they reach us, they wash out. And the next two fronts are going to be similar. We're going to see a couple of fronts do that, too. And a little early to get to those high numbers, too. We still have March, April, May, and first part of June that the brush fire
Typically
season
pretty
goes
dry.
on.
Yeah.
And so this could be a little dangerous, as we're seeing right now down in Collier County near Naples. Casey Key webcam showing a nice day for the beaches. The east wind really keeping the red tide effects offshore, and that's good news. And also the red tide lessening somewhat from the latest report from the FWC. Casey Key webcam again showing a nice sunset tonight, and Val getting a nice shot of it too, and a perfect shot of some high clouds around as well. And looks as though we will see sunny skies again tomorrow. Air quality index was in the moderate range today, the main pollutant ozone. As far as the atmosphere goes, we're going to see, again, the wind gusts not as high. That's the main thing. We're going to get into the weak category as far as the winds go. We're going to get away from the strong winds that we saw over the weekend and much of today. So it'll still be a little bit breezy, but not nearly as windy as it has been throughout the day on into Tuesday afternoon. We're talking 10 to 15 as opposed to 20 to almost 30-mile-an-hour winds that we've been seeing. A few light rain showers exist along the East Coast. That's about it. That's not helping any kind of fire danger. We need a widespread rain event to really actually bring a lot of moisture into the ground surface as well. To stop the fires if they do start from spreading rapidly. Well, they are seeing some big storms up in the parts of the central United States, from Missouri to Kansas to Illinois. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. That severe weather is associated with a cold front, which is going to come down our way late Wednesday and Thursday. 64 degrees right now. Dew point is at 51. Winds are out of the east. They've calmed a bit down to 10. The pressure is still high at 30, 32. The high today was 81 degrees. That was above average of 75, and the record high 88 degrees. This morning's low was comfortable at 57 degrees. Weather headlines read like this: less wind on Tuesday, staying warm though. Temperatures will stay warm despite the presence of a weak cold front headed our way on Thursday. Now, as we look at the forecast for Tuesday, we will see sunshine with a few clouds down again. Temperatures still well above average, into the low 80s in places near the beaches, into the mid to upper 70s there. You can see from the RPM forecast model with that east to southeasterly wind flow, we'll start to see a little increase in moisture. Then here comes the front, and then notice it just kind of washes out as it reaches central Florida. Now, there will be a few isolated showers, mainly inland due to the heating of the day, the sea breeze, and the presence of this front on Wednesday afternoon. And it looks like on Thursday there's a chance for a few scattered showers, but not much. Look at the temperature contrast now in the 20s and teens into the Dakotas. as in the Central Rockies, but 70 still at St. Louis. It's cooled now to 53 in Kansas City. It was 76 just about 4 hours ago there in Kansas City. Then the cold front came through, produced some rough weather where there were reported tornadoes, and there are tornado watches and warnings still out at this hour into Iowa, Missouri, and also into Illinois. And these are the storm reports. Numerous trees down just within the last couple of hours there into central Missouri, and tornado warnings in effect for northern portions of Missouri, east to central portions of Missouri as well. And now 2 tornado warnings have just popped up recently into Iowa, and that is spreading off toward Illinois. So rough going again across the central U.S. Different story for us though. East winds tomorrow 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet, and we'll have a moderate to light chop throughout the day on the bays and inland waters. High tide at 11:08 tomorrow morning. A low tide will be at 2:01, and sunrise at 6:48 tonight. Mostly fair, mild, 58 for your low. East winds at 5 to 10. For tomorrow, look for breezy conditions at times, but really not nearly as windy. Southeast winds 10 to 15, a high near 80. The 80-degree temperature stay with us on Thursday despite that front. We don't cool down much at all. We actually lose an hour over the weekend. Another front is due to arrive on Sunday. A little bit better chance for showers on Sunday, but not much, only at 30%. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. News from Congress. House Republicans releasing the outlines of their long-awaited plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The first details just now emerging, and some Republicans are already pushing back. ABC's Mary Bruce is on Capitol Hill.
Republicans ran on a promise to get rid of Obamacare, and now we're learning how they plan to do it. Here it is, the House Republican bill just released, and the White House has already hinted the president will support it. Now, here's what the bill does. It would immediately eliminate the individual mandate, repeal the Obamacare penalties and subsidies over 3 years. Instead, it creates tax credits to help Americans buy insurance, and it limits federal funding for Medicaid. But here's what it doesn't change. Coverage cannot be denied based on those pre-existing conditions, but there are big questions that remain. Democrats aside, Republicans in the House and Senate have voiced serious concerns about many of these proposals. The question is whether this is enough to get them on board, and how would this affect the nearly 20 million Americans currently covered by Obamacare? The answer to that question won't come until the Budget Office releases its findings on this new legislation. Mary Bruce, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The White House revealing the new revised travel ban executive order today, and this time travelers have 10 days to prepare if it survives legal challenges. President Trump signing that order privately at the White House. It replaces the original one from January, which went into effect with little warning, leading to confusion and protests. The new order temporarily bans residents from 6 Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S. Iraq was left off this new list. Also different, it issues a blanket suspension of all refugees for 4 months, no longer singling out Syrian refugees. President Trump left it to his Secretary of State, Homeland Security Secretary, and Attorney General to explain.
Like every nation, the United States has a right to control who enters our country and to keep out those who would do us harm. This executive order seeks to protect the American people as well as lawful immigrants by putting in place an enhanced screening and vetting process for visitors from 6 countries.
The order also no longer makes exceptions for religious minorities, one of the major concerns from courts of the original ban. The new order does not impact anyone who currently has a valid visa. Survivors of the Pulse nightclub massacre and the families of the victims will receive a second payout from the One Orlando Fund. The fund's board of directors deciding late Friday to distribute $1.3 million in additional contributions made since September. The fund already has distributed $29.5 million for 305 claims. City of Orlando created the fund to help the families of the 49 people killed, as well as the patrons who were inside the club when Omar Mateen opened fire last June. A bad parking job damages a beautiful classic car. A blue Ford ended up on top of the 1959 Corvette. The driver of the Ford meant to hit the brake but slammed on the gas pedal instead. This happened last weekend at a Walmart parking lot in Englewood. Other than the car, no one was hurt. UPS celebrating 25 years of safe driving in Florida. The company announced 81 of its Florida drivers are now part of the worldwide Circle of Honor. It's an honorary organization for UPS drivers who have achieved 25 or more years of accident-free driving. Florida has more than 500 drivers total in that program with a combined 15,000 years of accident-free driving. A growing number of traditional American retailers are in intensive care because of Amazon. According to a recent Moody's Investor Service report, the number of distressed U.S. retailers has tripled since the Great Recession. Mary Maloney explains.
Bad news for traditional brick and mortar stores. Moody's Investor Service put 19 retail companies on its annual distress list. And these are brands you know, like the owner of Sears and Kmart. Also making the list, J. Crew, Payless, Claire's, and David's Bridal. Just look at the stock market to see the struggles. In recent weeks, Sears stock plunged to an all-time low. JCPenney announced plans to shut down 140 stores, and Target shocked Wall Street with terrible holiday sales. Don't forget the tens of thousands of layoffs and the bankruptcies of Radio Shack and Sports Authority. Put some of the blame on the rise of e-commerce, especially Amazon. Online retailers can have more competitive pricing, better selection, and you can shop in your PJs. But just because some of your favorite stores are struggling doesn't mean they will close anytime soon. Many brick and mortar stores have beefed up their online presence. Also, you may see lower prices or sales just to get more shoppers inside the door. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
We are back to work tonight.
Julia Roberts is like Hollywood for me.
How old were you when you were watching this movie and wishing you too could one day play a hooker?
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
A popular day and night drink together in one cup. Details in Health Smart.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Maine. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Now's the time to find the coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you. Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge.
Call 1-800-738-1923.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Now, sports.
Since the beginning of last month, the Tampa Bay Lightning has put together an 8-2-2 record. That's one of the best records in the NHL. Meantime, tonight's opponent, the New York Rangers, owned the league's best road record. Something would have to give tonight. The stars of this game, though, the two goaltenders, they were amazing tonight. Both of them keeping the puck out of the net in the first. Rangers on the power play with a chance to take the lead. Andrei Vasilevsky makes a great stop to keep it scoreless. He was outstanding all night. Later during a face-off, the both Luke Witkowski and Tanner Glass of the Rangers drop the gloves and go right at it. This one looks like a draw. Bolts had several chances in this one, but New York's Antti Ranta makes two stops in a row right there. He had 38 saves tonight. This one goes to overtime. The Rangers win it with a breakaway goal, but the Bolts still get a valuable point, losing tonight 1-0. Pirates hosting New York Yankees at Lecom Field this afternoon. We'll pick it up in the second inning. The Yankees' Aaron Judge can hit it a country mile, but not on this pitch. Watch this. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pirates' Ivan Nova strikes him out. Bottom of the inning, Pirates get on the board. Austin Meadows sends a line drive to left field. That brings home 2 runs. Meadows with a 2-run double. Then in the third, Pirates up 3-1. Jordy Mercer goes deep. That's a solo shot to left field to put the Pirates up 4-1. They would score plenty more runs today. They beat the Yankees 13-1. 2 local games on tomorrow's schedule. The Pirates will host the Atlanta Braves at Lecom Field. And the Orioles are taking on the Dominican Republic team that will play in the World Baseball Classic. In fact, interesting note here, Baltimore's Manny Machado will be playing against his own team as a member of the Dominican squad. That should be fun to watch. Both games begin at 1:05 p.m. Buccaneers will keep one of their valuable free agents, defensive end William Golston, signing a 5-year contract extension rather than test his worth in free agency. He'll earn an average of more than $5 million a year. The 6'6" lineman is one of the team's best run stoppers. He can also pressure the quarterback, though. He's had 10 sacks over his career. He was very happy to stay a Buccaneer. At sports, we'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers coming up. Stay with us.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
The official salon of ABC7.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Attention sleep apnea sufferers. If you use CPAP therapy, if you have private insurance, or you're on a Medicare replacement plan, we may be able to help you get your CPAP supplies at little or no cost to you, and free shipping. Most insurance companies allow a patient to get a new CPAP mask, cushion, filter, and tubing every 3 to 6 months to prevent respiratory infection and skin sores.
That's why you should call Americare CPAP. Call 800-423-5457. That's 800-423-5457.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less, featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You've got to see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
A dog with a misaligned snout will soon get a chance to be paired with a forever home. Picasso is a 10-month-old pit bull corgi mix named for the famous painter, of course. Now Picasso will undergo dental surgery to correct that painful condition caused by his misaligned snout. But after surgery, the shelter will determine what's best for Picasso and his brother Pablo, who will be put up for adoption as a bonded pair.
Hope everything goes well.
Yeah.
Good news.
And I'm sure they'll find great homes.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks so much for staying up with us tonight. Jimmy Kimmel's next. Have a good night, everyone.